Hey, what's up? It's your girl Jyoty. Welcome back to the Rinse and Size Studios, where I am joined by 3 special guests. And today we're going to be chatting all about inspirations for producers and a little bit about drill, but we'll get into that, I guess, as we evolve the conversation. I don't want to speak on behalf of people, so I will let you introduce yourselves. We'll go this way.
I'm Ghosty, yeah.
Tell us, who are you? What do you do?
I'm a producer, innit? Like, mainly known for like drill, that type of music, but overall pretty much anything.
What do you mean that type of music though?
Like UK rap, street music, but I'll do everything, but
everything?
Yeah, producer, yeah.
Short but sweet, okay. I already know you're going to be the one today I'll be dragging.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I got you. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I will say to everyone watching, a little disclaimer at the start. I am, to my right, we've got a little bit of a bestie situation going on. We've got a very strong bromance. So if at any point there's some jokes we don't catch, don't worry, you're not alone. Ghosty and I also do not know what they're talking about. MK The Plug, tell us.
Yeah, I'm MK The Plug. I'm a music producer. I've been producing for like 6 years. I make like rap beats, drill beats, trap beats, R&B, lotion beats, whatever like.
Lotion.
Yeah.
Lotion beats.
Yeah.
Talk to me. Lotion beats.
Lotion beats.
Mm-hmm.
Like obviously I said R&B and lotion. And it's basically the same thing.
Okay.
Like, you know, lotion.
Sometimes you got lotion,
the opposite gender.
Uh-huh.
And just like you got
okay. This that light skin energy you were just talking about earlier?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're part of it as well.
Do you listen, leave me out of any conversation. Do you know the Lil Fizz song, Good Lotion?
No.
You should. If there's one thing you do today, you will never describe yourself ever as a lotion producer ever again after that
I can't keep up with all the Lils. Who's Lil Fizz?
It's a lot of Lils.
There's bare Lils now.
Lil Pump, Lil Fizz.
Well, Flyo.
Jyoty.
Tell us who you are and what you do then, Flyo.
I'm a music producer as well, as you probably guessed. I make beats just like these two. I do some DJing. I got a show on Rinse.
You do? You sure do. Do you know what's so weird? I did the whole tell us about yourself situation because in some of the other conversations we've had so far, you find out that people don't like to be boxed in a certain category or whatever. You guys are just... It is what it is. Producer in the realm of
Do you know why though? Because when you're actually producing by yourself, you don't just make one type of beat. You just be sitting there and be like, let me try and make this type of beat. And then, so then you don't want to just be known as the one guy.
Right, okay.
Well, I'm speaking for myself, but I'm sure it's the same.
Thanks, man. No, man. It's cool, man.
It starts already. This was the thing I was warning you guys about. I'm going to start off with a really easy question to kind of get ourselves into the conversation. Since we are talking about producers, lately I think producer tags have been a really significant thing. Sometimes because you can't escape them 20 times over a same tune. Sometimes because they become extremely iconic and people making the tags are making so much money off of it.
Is it?
The Maybach Music one, the girls who did that, for example.
Yeah.
Who are some of your favorite producer tags? What are they? Flyo, you can start.
My favorite producer tag. See, when you're put on the spot, everything just goes. I know there is one, but I can't.
Not even MK's.
I thought you were asking for that. Oh, you see the plug thing? Plug! That one.
Nah.
That's cold.
You lot must be able to help me. Who's got some good tags?
Who's got really good producer tags?
I can't think
I think a lot of the Americans do.
Yeah,
Wheezy, Chase the Money.
Yeah, Chase the Money's called. Chase the Money. Yeah. He's cold. He's cold.
Get stuck in your head. I think a lot of the Americans, but we do as well.
A
lot of us do. Yeah.
Who?
All of us.
Oh,
right.
Everyone, Ghosty.
Everyone, man.
Yeah,
we
for real.
good tags. Yeah.
Basically, you couldn't think of a name, so now I see what you're doing. It's okay.
No. He came up. Chase the Money. That
Chase
one,
the Money. Wheezy.
That one's. Oh yeah, Wheezy out of here. Yeah. But I'm trying to think of some old school ones. What was one of the first ones?
You know what I always really liked? Instead of the actual Wheezy tag, the lighter sound at the start of a tune.
Yeah.
The 2000s Lil Wayne. You knew to hear the lighter.
Wheezy, Lil, yeah.
So I'm talking about when you actually heard.
Wheezy, Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
Talk about Lil Wayne. That wasn't even what he was saying. It was just that particular sound, and you knew.
And you could hear the chains.
What was
with
about
Lil
to
Wayne.
happen.
You could hear the chains.
That's hard.
Pretty iconic. We have already started, you've all kind of introduced yourselves saying that you're associated with drill, you make drill beats. Since the conversation so far have been kind of evolved around inspirations and how people got to where they are now in their careers, let's start with the beginning. Ghosty, can you tell me about how you got into music, how you got into producing, and where you are now?
Yeah. Well, when I was young, there was must have been one night, my neighbor was doing he was in his garden and he had decks out in it.
Mm-hmm.
And he was making jungle. I must have been not making, sorry, mixing. I must have been 12 or something. I found it mad crazy. I was looking at my window watching him. How's he doing that? So I said, fuck it. So I went downstairs and I went into his garden and I was just looking at it and trying a thing basically. And yeah, after that I just got a deck, got a laptop and started mixing. And then when I was 16, I started watching videos on YouTube and I see Lex Luger. He's quite a big producer. Right. He was in his videos goated. He's in the studio and he's just making a beat.
Is that with his brethren behind him? I used to watch the same one.
I'm telling you.
I used to watch it over and over. It's 14 minutes long, isn't it?
Yeah,
and the beat's hard.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And it literally just turned me. I was no more mixing. Man's making beats now.
What were you playing? When you were mixing, what kind of music were you mixing before
Jungle.
That? Oh, okay. So that's where you kind of background comes from.
Yeah, started on that. But obviously as I got older, I started listening to rap and the American trap. And then when Jill started popping up, I was like, let me try Jill.
All of you have worked with huge artists. You're all involved with very, very big projects. Can you, I'm not going to name drop for you, but for the people who don't know some of the artists that you've produced for, give us some.
Heady One.
Casual.
Digger D.
Light work.
Central C. Dave. 2TGs. Some others.
Do you feel like people know who you are? When you enter a room, for example, with other people from the music industry, do you feel like people have an idea of, oh, that's Ghosty who's made that tune and that tune?
I don't know him. I don't really care to be honest.
Yes, I can answer that for you. Yeah, 100%.
They do?
I don't even cook.
A producer camp, I heard that people going crazy over Ghosty.
What producer camp are you talking about?
It was a producer camp for producers to come. There was loads of upcoming producers and quite a few established ones.
Okay.
Obviously. But yeah, Ghosty went, saying Ghosty was getting mad love. Ghosty was getting mad love.
Oh.
Producers love Ghosty.
Trust.
That's amazing.
Trust.
Okay, let's get to your story. How did you get into making music? Where did that start?
One day I was at home and I was watching a Young Chop documentary. The one where he's making beats, doing a cookout, showing how he's come up working with Chief Keef, him and his mum's relationship and shit. I was raw, obviously I wasn't doing nothing productive at the time, so I was I need to get involved in something like this. And then I just got all the stuff. I got the keyboard, little piano, got the software.
So you immediately started, you didn't just start on your laptop with...
No, I got that same day, I got the keyboard and I got all the software somehow off them websites, and then I just started got busy with it from there. This was 6 years ago.
Who are some of the artists that we know that you've worked with?
Digger D, Heady One, Tunde, Meeks. There's a lot, I can't even keep up nowadays. Fredo, Frosty, a lot. There's quite a few.
Do you recall a moment particularly where you were like, oh my God, this is it now? This is what I'm going to be doing as a job?
Yeah, probably. When was that? It's weird. I think it was probably when I went to Miami, to go work out there.
Mm-hmm. Casual, yeah.
Light flex.
I do the same every week. Mm-hmm.
When I went out there to go work with them, I was just this should be me. Even though America's a completely different music environment to the UK, money wise and artist wise, whatever. I was I need to do my thing here and get out here.
Can you explain what you mean though? When you say in the US is a completely different ball game, in what sense?
For the UK, I feel because we're quite a small country compared to America, our scene's still kind of building up, especially for urban music. Mm-hmm. Because obviously they've got such a big country, so many artists, so many labels, so many majors that they've already built the infrastructure properly, and they've got things are a lot more, what's the word, built up and already set in place.
Set up,
yeah.
Okay.
Whereas here, we're still getting to be like them. We're on our way to be an up.
We're almost there though.
Yeah. Just
mad.
if our country was bigger, we'd be there. It would
Yeah,
be
yeah.
quicker, but it's just like obviously there's quite a big difference.
Yeah.
between
But when you think about it as well, then like the last like 2-3 years, we caught up quick.
100%.
Like we've got everything that they've got, we've got, but just in a smaller scale. Like
I think the sound right now, I think the UK is running ahead.
100%.
And the US is watching people like yourselves and trying to imitate what you guys do. But the infrastructure over there is just
it's
way
bigger.
advanced.
Yeah, 100%.
Fly, let's get into your story.
How
did it start?
It started with, I used to watch my uncle and his friend make beats.
Okay.
And obviously I was just always interested in music, but I just didn't do anything to do with music. And then I was like, I want to start making beats. So then my uncle's friend got me Logic, this is years ago, on my computer. And then from there, I just never looked back.
What kind of music was your uncle making?
What was he making? He was kind of making like garagey sort of, I don't even really know, because he wasn't like doing it properly like a producer. He was
Right.
doing it as a hobby, but I was just watching him and it looked sick. So I was like, yeah, I want to get involved sort of thing.
And who are some of the artists that you have worked with?
I've worked with Gigs, Scraps, Suspect, Blade Brown, LD, 6-7, Dimsy as well. There's others, but
Everyone.
when I'm on the spot,
It's
my
mad
brain
on the
just-
spot,
innit?
my brain just goes.
Mad.
"Pew."
You guys better get used to
I
it.
bet you,
'cause-
as soon as I'm in the car, I'll be like, that person. But yeah.
Well, just so you're aware, this is going to happen throughout the hour. I'm going to ask you questions that you're going to...
Oh really? Well, I
Wait,
thought we was just here to.
Yeah, you thought you was here trying to catch jokes with your friend over here. No,
Oh,
we're doing an
Yo.
entire... Before we started the podcast, you and I were already kind of talking about how, for example, I'm a consumer of music. I don't make music, but I've seen, as a 90s baby, I've seen the shift in how important and I think respected and loved producers have become throughout the years, whereas they used to kind of take a back row and you wouldn't really know who produced a song unless you looked at the back credits of a CD
I used
cover,
to do that though.
right?
So I used to do that.
And then I guess as we moved into the 2000s, mainly looking at the US, all of a sudden it was like, well, if you can get a Neptune's beat or if you can get a Timbo beat or a Alchemist beat, you got the cosign from the producer, not the other way around. Where do you guys feel like we are at now? And maybe specifically in the UK, do you feel like producers get as much love as they should get in the scene? Maybe even if we're talking about the drill scene specifically.
Not really. I wouldn't say
Yeah,
no.
no.
Not really. No. We don't really get
You don't think so?
as much love. But then again, if we're comparing it to like them, the Timbos and
Oh, yeah, but I mean,
it's a
them man are
completely
legends,
different
though.
ball game. But
Yeah.
like, I don't know. We do a lot as producers. We do a lot like come to a session, wheel up hella beats on end, make sure the tune's coming out proper.
Yeah.
Like, but I feel like a lot of people, a lot of artists are used to producers just coming, just doing it, and like that just being a pattern. But like when it comes to them, like scratching the producer's back as well, like, I feel like sometimes, like, you get me, it's not really.
Yeah, it can get
a bit
techie.
sticky.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's not like as equal of an importance as the vocalist or the MC that you've come in and you actually set the groundwork and they add on to that?
I'd say it's 50-50, yeah, but like what? First of all, more than ever, producers are getting a look in, yeah. More than ever. But still, I think to what like M's sort of saying is that sometimes producers still get overlooked, even though we're getting looked at more than ever. We're still overlooked sometimes, like as in the music is what starts the whole process. Like most rappers, I mean, they'll have bars, but a lot of them hear the beat and then they write to the beat. So the beat is the catalyst. Like,
well,
that's
you
what
said
starts
something
off.
earlier that was,
What did I say? I can't
you were
remember.
saying a beat tape versus like if a drop.
Yeah, like alright, cool. So if you got a big rapper and a big producer, yeah, and a rapper brings out a acapella EP and a producer brings out a beats EP, which one would do more numbers? We all know, because no one ain't trying to just hear bars with no beat.
Hella bars.
Yeah, it's dead.
That's
Yeah,
because
true.
that would be like essentially spoken word.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
a niche market.
So yeah, I think, but I don't know. I think producers are definitely getting way more of a look in now than they ever have done. Like just the fact that we even got this sort of podcast and that, this would never happen 5 years ago.
There you go. Who are some of your favorite producers right now in the game, Ghosty? Who's someone whose work you look at and you think that's Sick.
Oh, Wonder Girl. I'm a massive fan of Wonder Girl.
She's cold.
She is crazy. She does a lot with Travis Scott.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't know who that is. Talk to
She
me.
does all Travis Scott
she
stuff.
does a lot.
Okay.
She's crazy talented.
She done
some of the stuff she
Antidote,
does.
innit?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Crazy,
back in the
crazy
day, yeah.
producer.
Okay.
My favorite producer. Yeah.
And a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that.
Mad.
Come
Amazing.
On. Equal rights.
Do we? Because I think that's still one thing. Also a huge thing, right? As like being a woman myself, playing music on the radio, that where you hear a woman's voice is not that hard. But to find women that produce and that we know of, I still struggle quite a bit. I don't know where you guys. Like,
It's
how
growing.
often do you find yourself in a studio and there's actually someone who identifies as a woman producing?
Not a lot, but it's more now than ever.
No, it's coming up.
More
Yeah,
popping up,
coming out.
yeah.
Yeah,
100%,
people
100.
coming out of the
Yeah,
show,
yeah,
doing
yeah.
their things too.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's great to hear as well, especially here in the UK and in London.
Here in the UK as well. Even I'm not sure of her name, but the Digga D track Woy.
CB,
M1 made that
Oh,
with
C
C
Beats,
Beats. There
yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
There's a couple now, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into the topic of drill, which seems to be a never-ending story of controversy, love. Where did it start? Who's copying who? Is it really about what it seems to be about? It's just, and the thing is as well, it's just not a boring topic. So I feel like today when we talk about it, it's all about opinions and there's no right or wrong. Let's start at the start. Chicago drill,
Yep.
UK drill, then East Coast started doing drill.
Yeah.
Who owns what? Where does which part come from?
Chicago started all off. Let's be honest. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then the UK one has a very distinct difference in
And then
sound.
we started this new wave.
With the
Well,
beats.
Yeah.
when I say we, I mean the UK.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then there was rappers from the East Coast of America that
Brooklyn,
then
really.
took the sound that we know it to be as UK drill.
And some of them try to claim it like it's theirs.
Exactly.
Which
I
I
feel,
don't
like,
understand.
I feel like I'm feeding you
Yeah,
the
I
lines and
see,
you're finishing the lines.
My man, Academics was even trying to argue, like, and certain other people that ain't involved in music was trying to say that it's their thing. But come on, man, like,
Do you know what's mad though? You see, like drill, even drill at the start when it came from Chicago, like when we were first doing it. Not we, but like LA Beats,
Yeah.
War Dog, Quiet Pack,
Quiet Pack,
Ghosty,
yeah.
all the Beats, all of them guys. Like when they were doing it, it was kind of like
It was like a
our
remake.
drill was a lot different. It was kind of like garagey grime mixed with their drill, like because their drill is essentially trap now. Like their drill back in those times, like you identify now as a trap beat.
Yeah, exactly.
But like we kind of just like mixed the garage and the
we just like
grime
UK'd
with
it.
we just UK'd it out.
Yeah,
Just made it raw
Yeah.
and yeah.
But it was the same subject matter.
Right.
We like imitated them with like this and the dead ops and all of that. Like that's what come from them. Like
Yeah, the lyrics stayed the same.
the lyrics-
beat was just kind of
yeah, the beats kind of got UK
got a
fired.
bit harder.
Yeah.
Who are at the forefront?
No, it was still good. And
No,
it's just different style, innit? Like,
Yeah.
they're both hard, but
No,
Who
I
do you think
we
was
made
at
it
the
harder still.
forefront of the UK sound though? Like who are some of the first people that really made it the sound?
producers.
The names you said.
Producers and maybe MCs as well.
Producers, Quiet Pack, LA Beats,
Yeah.
Gotti on
Mazza as well.
Beats, Mazza, Jamaica,
Yeah.
etc. Like there's a lot of them.
Even BK, Think Again. I
Yeah.
remember that. That
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
old school.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was like one of his
Classic.
first beats. Yeah, literally.
yeah.
Yeah.
So and then artist wise, like he was back then like
6'7",
Sticks,
410.
6'7",
150.
410.
It's
all
basically
of them guys. Yeah,
it's basically Brixton.
yeah.
Brixton
Yeah.
basically started
So
UK
you'd say
drill.
you'd link it to like coming from South.
Brixton.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Brixton had a big part in
Yeah,
this uprising.
because they're the first ones that I saw doing it.
Why do you think the genre in the like kind of the time that we live in, right? 2020, 2021, where access to internet, freedom of speech, and just kind of people being able to separate the art from the artist, and we have moved away, we thought, from what grime was going through a couple of years ago. How come there's still so much controversy when it comes to drill and drill artists and kind of the stigma it has, but also the interactions with the police and the government? Where does that stem from, and why can't we kind of get away from that?
I think it's just the media, to be honest. Like I see, obviously, Tion went #1, and I forgot what news it was, but they was posting, drill rapper boasts about violent lyrics, goes #1, and that. It's like,
They just need something for people to blame.
Yeah.
Scapegoat sort of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. But as well, I'd say like the media latches on to the little things that they can.
Mm-hmm.
But as well, like as compared to grime, because I remember growing up when grime was big,
Yeah.
it wasn't as like greasy. If I'm no, it, like the lyrics was greasy, but there wasn't as many people getting stabbed and killed behind it.
Right.
Like with some of the early drill, like there was actually people dying and shit. Oh shit! Can I? Oh,
Yes, you can.
Too late.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. But like there was things happening in it. Like obviously not every artist is doing what they say they're doing.
Yeah, of course.
But
I
there
was gonna ask.
proportionally a bit more crud happening with like the early drill.
Yeah.
I reckon.
Do you think we're going
As
to be able
opposed
to
to grime.
move away from it? Because, like, literally, I'm glad you brought it up, Ghosty, the number one hit. Like, if it's becoming mainstream, I mean, you go to TikTok and, like, these drill tunes are trending because of all these kids making dances to it and, like, it's just becoming a popular sound. How are we ever, especially with looking forward to venues and clubs opening again and people being able to make their money, see their fans, be on stage, how are we going to move away from it being politicized and being policed so much? If possible.
I don't even know.
I don't think it's possible.
I'm obviously it's not possible because if someone has an issue with someone,
They're gonna pull up.
or if like multiple people have issues with multiple people, then it's just like it's up to them to sort it out. But you can't make them sort it out. Like it might sort out, it might not sort out. But like as far as shows come, like probably just as they've been doing like before pre-corona, like just grouping people into like, okay, we know this guy and this guy and this guy are cool.
Yeah.
We'll put them in this time.
Yeah,
and then this guy,
yeah.
this
Oh, you're
guy.
talking about like lineups
Yeah,
and how
yeah,
they're
yeah.
organized.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my God, that's something that I wouldn't have even thought about. That you actually have to think about this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
That's
techie.
a little bit mad.
Yeah, it is.
I want to bring back something you slightly just said, you know, how there's crud behind the scenes and some people are. How often do you find yourself in the studio? You don't have to name no names, okay? Don't have to get yourself in trouble. How often are you in the studio with a rapper, an MC, and things are being said that you know definitely not what's happening outside the studio?
Oh yeah.
A lot of
And
time.
yeah, okay, let's talk about it.
A lot.
Well, actually, I say a lot of time, but I mean, yeah, no.
I'd say a lot of time from like being in sessions, like being in other people's sessions,
Yeah.
even certain of my
'Cause-
sessions that I've taken. Like when you know the rapper and you like,
Well, the thing is, I'm not trying to incriminate any people I know,
Yeah.
but the people that I work with, a lot of it is
it's genuine. Yeah.
It's no cap, but
We've been in hundreds of sessions.
Yeah,
with so many people you don't even remember now. Like
exactly, and that's where it can be like, I don't know if Donny's really flipping that much boxes.
Ah.
Trust.
Ghosty, you're awfully quiet. What are you thinking about right now?
Nothing.
No?
I'm listening.
You agree?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, like, I don't really like take in what they say.
Oh, okay.
I'm more of a beat listener. Like there could be lyrics. I'm just hearing the beat. Like, to be honest.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you just do you feel like you let go after a certain part of your job, like
What do you mean?
as in like as long as the beat is as you want it to be and it sounds good and it represents your part of the song, then whatever is the MC is doing with it is not that much of an issue for you?
No. It's still have input, but like
Right.
what he's actually saying,
Right.
like if he wants to say that, he can say that. You get. I'm not gonna be like, oh, is that true? Like, you get. I'm not gonna stop halfway.
Space bar.
Yeah,
like,
what?
Yo,
Is that true? Like, like, I ain't doing that. Like,
seriously. Open your eyes. What?
so look.
This is how you know that I'm not a producer, because I'd be in the studio and be like, sorry, didn't I just see you yesterday at my nan's? Like, what's going on? This is not... Do you remember that TikTok that went viral where the girl's pretending to be in the studio at the start of the Tupac...
I don't have TikTok.
Oh, well, you don't have to have it. It went viral. Basically, I'll show you later. It basically goes to show if you were in the studio with Tupac during his heydays and his intros and the shit he was saying about Biggie and Junior Mafia, like you would have just been a bit like, oh, I did not sign up to be on this song, bro.
For
Talking
real.
about people's wives and
Yeah,
illnesses.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering what that's
Let's hit
like.
him up. They're talking about it.
I mean, to be fair, and now if I think about it, I was like a little kid. I was like 6, 7 years old, and you used to know every word to that song.
I love that song.
Now I listen to it, I'm like, oh my God.
No, I still love that song.
A little bit deep.
Yeah.
Wait, what song? I was
Hit 'em
miles
up.
away.
That's
Oh
right.
shit.
First off, In the clink you claim.
Yeah,
No,
boy,
I
that's
don't know
some
the bars
classics.
So
still.
it's a very
Late 90s.
No, this.
You try to call me old?
Nah, I'm late 90s though.
Oh yeah, I'm early 90s. What you trying to
Oh.
say?
I'm obviously I'm not really like I'm 90s. I classify myself as 90s, but I'm
Mhm.
like I'm basically a millennium, like so I don't catch on to certain things.
Love that
Yeah.
for you. Love that
So-
for you.
I don't love it, man.
Okay. I want to ask you all, as producers, what is a song or a beat, I should say, that you wish you made?
Oh, I got Bear.
Come on, hit me.
All right, cool. It's called "You Got Some Gangster Shit." It's by Snoop Dogg, and it's made by a guy called Superfly,
Okay.
the original Superfly. It's hard.
Okay.
Yeah, it's my favorite. It's one of
Song
my
that
favorite
comes to
beats.
mind? A production that you wish you made?
I ain't got I'm just trying to think. Really, that's a tough one.
Doesn't have to be like the ultimate answer, but there's certain songs that you listen to, you're like, oh damn, I wish that sounds so good.
But if I hear things every day, I'm like, why not make that?
That's amazing. That's good though.
Yeah, no,
There's
it's like in
yeah.
a good way. Like, right, this
Yeah.
is sick.
But there's a lot of songs I hear with the beats is poor.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Ooh.
oh yeah, I wish I could just remake that.
Yeah.
Oh, but you can't name those.
Nah.
Nah, that was.
I mean, you
just- that
can.
was- obviously, there's so many that I can't even remember. But there's a
Wow.
lot. Like, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that what this is what we're saying now?
I'm serious. Like a lot of obviously, like me. Obviously, I live with Ghosty on them and Sapphire beats as well.
Okay.
So you be in the crib sometimes, just randomly just play a YouTube shit and just pause it. Like, wait, what? What kind of beat is this?
Oh.
Like, seriously, they let this come out. Like, they let this come out. The mix like this, the drums like this, the bass is all off. Like, bro, like
Wait, that's mad interesting though, because are you talking about songs that are doing well, that are like doing
yeah,
numbers?
even so, yeah.
So where do you think, how do certain productions and beats then make it that far? Like who makes something popping then?
Obviously, like I feel like it's all like who you know and like who can do what for you. Like say an artist, say an artist manager,
Mhm.
he knows a producer that he knows well, or he's like under him.
Right.
Like, say if he's under him, for example, in this case, yeah, like as long as it sounds good to the manager, they'll just put it forward. Like, doesn't matter because
Right.
like obviously they're with them. They're not gonna look for like, oh, I need to get the hardest production for this. Like, rah, my man's under us. Like, we can pattern him, but then like when you hear the final quality, when you do things cheaply and that, like you can hear it. Like, beats not popping, beats not banging. Like, obviously the artist might be going hard, but like you gotta make sure that you get the hardest of the hardest, especially producers as well, innit?
Do you feel like, and this is maybe going a little bit technical, but just because I'm so not in the world of producers that I don't know how these things work, do you feel like as a producer you often have to kind of explain or justify what you're worth, like even financially, like
100%.
asking money for beats and stuff? Is that still like a ongoing conversation you have to have?
100%, yeah.
Why, like, how do these talks go? Like, why do people not understand that a beat could literally make an entire song?
Well, like, why would I give you how much you want when I've got someone else here that will do the beat for cheaper and just easier, innit? Yeah.
And as well, what you think the beat's worth, they might not think that. You'll be like, I want X amount, and they'll be like, well, I think this is Y amount,
Right.
and then that's where there's a disconnect. Like, and then like what M's saying, they might be able to go and find a beat, or they might just go on YouTube and just take the beat off YouTube and then just deal with everything when it happens.
Right. Do you guys have like managers or agents? Like I always think with producers, it's such a different infrastructure. Like, it's not like someone snatches you up being like, let me manage you, because you aren't as much in the limelight and people don't really know what your work looks like on a daily basis and how much effort and research and time goes into it. Like, how do you feel like a producer can progress in their career from going like bedroom and sending beats to like doing major label artists and cutting big deals?
Kind of like everyone's story is different, but like where they get to might be the same. Like, for example, like even Fly's come up like
Kind of
like
old way.
jugging with artists like in
Yeah.
the flesh, like oh, I know him or I know him through him, and we
Yeah.
pattern up like. But like someone like me, even Ghosty as well, like we come out slightly through YouTube. So
Okay.
I'm slapping beats on YouTube, putting beats on SoundCloud, sending beats to 150 rappers like on the same email, like.
Right. Oh, wow.
You get me? Like, that's
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
was on back in the day, just to get the sound out. Like, because obviously I knew a couple of rappers. There was a couple people rapping around me, but like back then I just wanted to get to a big rapper, or not even the big rappers, but the rappers that I liked and that were like popping at the time, like so.
And back then there was a big gap in the market for drill beats on YouTube.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
No one was doing it. So
Yeah, bro. And there was a big demand.
Big demand.
Everyone wanted them, but no one was doing it.
And now it's flooded.
Yeah, now it's
flooded
like
with drill beats. Everyone's making
all these Americans. There's all these.
it's flooded.
Me and Em was talking the other day. There's all tutorials.
Yeah.
How to make drill beats.
Drill type of
Crazy.
beat.
Yeah.
Those
mad.
videos.
It's mad.
It's mad. Like when I was starting that, was that April 2015. There was one drill tutorial on YouTube, like only one
And
UK drill.
Was that out of UK drill? I was gonna say. I thought
but it was a Chicago drill beat.
Yeah, look at that.
So like I'm trying to watch it, but I'm just learning how to make trap essentially. Like
And what's mad on this subject, yeah, I remember. So I didn't come up in drill. I came up kind of a little bit before.
Right.
So I remember when drill was coming about, and before there was any tutorials and that, and yeah, I'd hear these man's beats, yeah, and be like, bruv, how have they done this, bro? Like, as in, nowadays, you can just go, how to make Brooklyn drill, and there'll be 10 guys showing you the hi-hat pattern, I remember the first time I bucked MK, yeah, and he's pulled out FL, and he's doing all the slides. I was like, bruv, is that how you do it? He's like, yeah, just do that and do that. I was like, rah, because I come up off Ableton.
Right.
I use FL now, but basically, to not get too technical, before there was all these tutorials, it was like, if you didn't know, you didn't know.
Yeah. Trust, like back then, I had to go on SoundCloud and find other producers coming up like man, or like other producers a bit like
And go and link them.
higher than man, like or not higher than man, but like better than man. Like I'm messaging them like, yo, like I'm from East as well.
Yeah,
like let's link up. Like I
Yeah.
remember like Rims Productions, shout out him, like Ghosty as well, Ghosty on them, like bare people were showing me love. Like man, shout them like, yo, we need to link up, like. Cause like cool, we could send each other collabs on the computer or whatever, like.
That's
but like
dead, man. I
we
like
need
that,
to link
man.
in the flesh.
Yeah.
Need to see what's popping. I need to see how you are as a person. Like I need to like we need to like solidify something. Yeah, because boy, like when I started producing, obviously I got taught by Mars Beats and Schemes Beats as well. Yeah, so they were like my two mentors to teach me how to make beats. So even with them lot, yeah, like they're showing me stuff. I'm taking it in. And obviously there was a other producer around me as well. I'm showing them, like we're all just showing each other collectively, like when we see each other, innit? Or like even on WhatsApp, like people send me a 5-minute WhatsApp, like, yeah, MK, you need to go and turn this and do this and turn this off, like you get it? So like, yeah, man.
Do you feel like, well, I mean, I guess the answer is yes, but how do we think that a genre that's so new, Ghosty, has been saturated so quickly? Like what has led to this super quick rise to the point where you guys are saying like it's literally so accessible, there's no I guess secrets almost about it anymore? Or
I feel like obviously there's been quite a few rappers that have done well for themselves, but for the audience, the audience might be looking at them as they're way better off than they actually are,
right?
You get it? So people are like, raw, like he done a video, all he did was he was on the block with his guys, and then he was in an apartment with bad bitches. Like, I need to do that. That's the formula to make shit happen. Like, so then everyone's trying to do that. Like, I need a hard beat, I need a Ghosty beat, or I need a Chris Rich, or I need a MK, or blah blah blah. Like, I need one of those beats. So it's kind of like there's like a formula to making us like a tune nowadays. Like,
social media had a play in that.
Big time.
Yeah, social. Yeah, but it's like I feel like it's as well like. Loads of people just trying to make tunes, trying to like going off the same budget, so there's only as much as you could do. Like you're from the hood, you're on the block or whatever you are in an apartment or whatever, like people just doing the same shit, same type of tunes. Like it's kind of oversaturated with that.
Do you guys already see it moving into a different sound or a different sub-genre, subculture? Like where do we feel like drill's going?
It's much more melodic now, I think.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. And like, I don't know why I've clocked this, but like when drill started, everyone that I linked was on FL, innit?
Okay.
Everyone. And now like we're getting
use
like,
FL.
Yeah. Now we're like Logic people are using it, like Ableton people. So it's like,
so there's actually like a difference in what software people are using
and it
connected
changes
to the sound.
It changes it so much. Like you can
100%.
clock, like you can tell this guy's using Logic, this guy's using FL.
Okay.
And I think that, I don't know why that's a thing, like at the time only like FL users, but that and like it's more melodic, more radio friendly, like less dark, more
a lot of
clubby.
guitars.
Yeah,
That's what I
hella
got.
guitars.
Bare
Essentially.
guitar
Kind of
with
more
drill.
instrumental.
Because drill, when it was first popping off, it was like real
Pianos.
Dark,
pianos. Like it wasn't too much like melodic movement. It was just like
two chords,
right.
two chords.
and then it's just all the bass and the slides and the da-da-da, and then it's kind of moved away. Like Ghosty was saying, it's kind of moved away from the dark element. It's still there, but I think because that got banged out so much,
Right.
it had to go
Evolved.
melodic.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would have just died off.
Nah, definitely, because that's what, like, now it's clubby, like Pop Smoke, that goes off in clubs. That's
Mad.
just like, you get,
Facts.
Yeah.
that's why it's risen. Like, man, I listen to it in clubs, man. I go
Yeah.
to clubs listening to drill. Like, it's
Real
crazy.
talk.
Cause that
Crazy.
drill, it's all basically the same drum patterns, but it's that the melody that you put behind it can
Changes
like
it all.
determine whether like it might be some mad like garagey sounding drill, it might be some mad dark sounding drill.
Yeah.
You can make some techno. If you find some weird techno melody,
Yeah,
you could
real
make
talk.
some techno sounding drill. Like
yeah,
you could turn it into anything. It's just like what melody you use, like what type of melody you're gonna use towards it.
And to be honest, the Yanks did a lot of helping it
Yeah,
evolve because, like Ghosty was just saying, you hear drill now in a club, but that's from, let's be honest, the Americans. They really
Right.
Pop Smoke. To
Right.
be honest,
It is a name you can't avoid in this whole conversation.
Nah,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he brought it worldwide.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
there's Ghanaian drill, there's Italian drill, there's everything, but that's from Pop Smoke. Well,
Yeah.
no, there was French drill because of English drill back in the day.
mm.
So I mean, they was listening to the UK scene
Pop Smoke and Mellow put it like on the map.
on the map.
Like
globally.
mainstream.
Yeah,
100%.
globally. Like,
Yeah.
You said something really interesting, Gus. You mentioned the word radio, but you know, we're in the Rinse studio. For example, a genre like grime really came to exist and flourished and nourished and got its
Pirate.
identity through pirate radio
Yeah.
because it wasn't as accessible to clubs and venues. People were a little bit like, you know, whereas garage was very pleasant and money and, you know, champagne and dressing up. Then it went into more tracksuits and, you know, not as flashy, not making as much money at the clubs. With drill, in the last year or so, it's grown massively. But it's also been a year where venues have not been open. But it's also been a year where a lot of major stations were kind of reluctant of playing drill because of the contents of the song. What is it then that made the genre so big? If it wasn't being danced to in clubs, if it wasn't really being played as much on the big national and commercial stations, slowly they're doing that because of that number one hit that helped massively. What the hell's the driving force behind this sound?
I think because it's a good sound.
yeah, it's a good sound.
It's just sick. Like, you know, like it takes a while. Maybe if you don't like street music, but you can't help but bob your head to a good drill beat. Do you know what I mean? If the
What-
music's good, it's gonna
Like, drill here is kind of like what trap is in America. Like,
yeah.
It's,
Okay,
it's
that's
like hip hoppy kind of, and it's like the kids like it.
Yeah.
So
How important is the role of radio though when it comes to drill? Do you think it's as important as it
Nah.
was to grime?
Nope.
No. What has it been replaced by?
YouTube.
yeah, it was
YouTube.
YouTube. Yeah.
yeah.
That's so bad.
It
That's
is.
insane.
Yeah, that's
Pac-Man TV.
Yeah,
all them lot,
yeah.
Yeah, put it
Who
on.
are some individuals that you think have been very important in spreading the sound of drill? Is there certain DJs? Is there certain
Yeah.
like who?
Kenny All Star.
Yeah,
Yep.
fully.
Even like a bit further back, Morgan Keys as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Morgan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Used
he
to have a
was
show on
big.
Rinse.
Like, because
Yeah.
if you're thinking like from the start, like he was doing the
the
freestyles.
Morgan Keys show.
Yeah, the Morgan
Yeah,
Keys
yeah,
show, the
yeah, that makes
freestyles. Who are like? There's hella people that have pushed this thing properly.
DJ Bempa as well.
Yeah, DJ Bempa.
There's another
Yeah.
DJ.
But you're going to be one of them soon.
Soon, yeah, exactly.
DJ Flyo.
Well, that's it. We
I've always
talked
pushed
about
the
it,
drill
right?
scene because I think it's just cold. It's just good music, innit? I'm not even really. I'm not biased about what music is. I don't care what genre it is, bro. If it slaps, it slaps.
For people who are not aware, so Fly, we were just chatting before the mics turn on that you have started off as a producer and now
Yeah.
are slowly kind of finding your ways into the realm of DJing.
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
think having a radio show has played a huge part in that.
Definitely.
Why do you think that's important, or where do you think that can take you? Where would you like it to take you?
To be honest, yeah, I'm not really like I'm not getting into DJing because of like no goals or that.
Mhm.
I just proper like music. That's it. Before I started producing, I just love music. So DJing is just playing tunes that I like.
Right.
And then you could get paid from it. That's kind of lit to me. Do you know what I mean?
Because you come from the other way around, right? You were mixing first and then started producing. What's the biggest misconception people have about producers, you reckon? What's like a myth that we need to kind of like completely get rid of now we have the chance?
I don't know.
Producers, like people think that like, you're a producer, like every day you're just sitting there making 100 beats a day, like you don't even eat, sleep, smoke, go to the toilet, like you just making beats, like there's producers that make like 900 beats a year, like Ghosty, and then there's people like that, like even like me, like I don't bang out bare beats, but like when I'm feeling like I want to make a beat, I'll make a beat. Like it's not like for some people they just naturally just bang 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 bang, and then for me like I don't know, it takes more like of like a feeling and thought like to get into it, if that makes sense.
I think as well though, you go through waves, like, because I remember like, because me and Em had a studio in like a couple of years ago, and then I would be I'd like say if I wasn't really in the mood, or not in the mood, but like I've no inspiration or nothing, he'd be sitting there, he'd bang out 3 beats, and I'd be like, nah man, I gotta make something, bro. I can't just. But basically what I'm trying to say is like it goes in waves, innit? So like when you're in the wave, you can just make bare beats every day, but then sometimes you need to just take like a couple weeks off, recharge, listen to some new music, just get inspired. But I don't know if we answered your question about misconceptions about producers, but
I think I know one. I think a lot of people think that producers are either like just DJs or just like engineers, like recording.
Yeah.
Because like I'll have conversations with people. Oh, what do you do? I'm a producer. I say, oh, you DJ? No, I'm a producer. Oh, you record them? No, I made the beats.
I made the beat.
But then again, some people who are engineers call themselves producers, so I'm not too sure.
And I guess you could do both.
Yeah, word. It's a grey area. Yeah, you could do both.
Because I guess you are now and producing
and
DJing.
as well, I started off as an engineer. Like my job to get me in producing, I was actually an engineer in a studio.
Okay.
Yeah, for a long time.
That gives you a whole different point of view entering the world, though, because I've
actually just sat there and just recorded people, nothing to do with my music.
Yeah.
And so I've got like a little 360 of but definitely people think that if you're a producer, you're definitely just an engineer, or it don't work like that.
Who are bucket list artists you would want to produce for that you haven't worked with yet?
Migos.
Yeah.
Rich the Kid.
Mm-hmm.
That's a hard question.
I think that's it for me,
Obviously,
there's a lot to think of, but that.
No, I like that. Nice and concise.
Yeah, but those two especially, because I feel like they're fucking sick. Like, but me, I'll add like some mad beat elements to whatever they're rapping, innit?
I was literally gonna ask you, with like such an established name as Migos, do you feel like you could add some value to what they have been doing and maybe switch up what they sound like?
100%.
Listen, if any of them are watching,
hey, get out the man them. Get me.
Call us. I'm saying us because I'm involved now.
You're involved, man.
I have to do ad-libs on a Migos tune. I'm there. I can't get. I was literally just talking about straightening. I cannot get the song out of my head.
Coach Free's about to be mad. I don't really have. Sorry, I was
no,
going to
go
ask
on.
you a question.
Oh.
There's artists that I'd want to work with, but more than that, there's actually producers that I'd want to work with.
Hit me.
Cardo, Alchemist,
Havoc.
We were just having a conversation about Alchemist.
Yeah. There's Bear, man. Like my mind's just gone blank again. But every time I'm by myself, I'm like, I want to work this. But yeah, Havoc, Alchemist, Cardo, DJ Quick.
Mm-hmm.
Just bare different people, man.
You know how you were just talking about lotion music and you make lotion music? Are there some artists that you would want to work with that people wouldn't expect you to listen to or like be inspired by? Are there like maybe some singers that you love whatever they do? And
I'd want to work with Party Next Door. Like
okay, yes.
I'll mess with him.
Who is also an amazing songwriter. Again, that's an artist that is maybe known for being on stage and having the mic, but actually some of his best work has been when he's hasn't been on the mic.
Producing. Yeah, he produces as well, I think. No, he
Does
does. Yeah,
You producers definitely.
yeah. He got his name from a
Oh yeah,
a
of
preset.
course. Yeah, his first stuff was all him, innit?
Yeah, West District. All that. Yeah,
He
he's
kind of
crazy.
made that sound.
that like trap soul.
Yeah,
dark.
yeah.
Because it's still kind of dark actually.
Yeah.
It's like dark
Yeah.
lotion music.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Dark
it is.
lotion.
Yeah, what? Sound mad.
Dark lotion.
Yeah.
Dark lotion.
Okay.
That's the vibe. I can't lie.
Any singers for you? Anyone?
Singers, yeah, man. But bruv, I don't really, I ain't got no specifics, like, because I don't really listen to singing music too. I do, but I don't enough to be like, yeah, I want to. But I'm just open to just if you sing, if you're good.
What do you play
let's
when
go.
you set the mood? You still playing like drill songs? What's going on?
No, I don't play drill.
Some trap
I
music.
play some
You know what I
like-
mean?
Is that what you guys doing?
Yeah.
To set the mood?
No,
Yeah,
I'll play some like
something
LA music because that's got a nice little.
What
That's
is
quite
LA
musical.
music? What does that mean?
That's a big umbrella of just like, you know, artists from LA. But like LA, I feel like is a bit more musical than like New York, like old school golden
we've-
era. Do you know
All
what I
right,
mean?
hold on. You've gone on a date.
Yeah.
It's all gone really well.
Yeah.
We're going there now.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because you started off with the lotion in the very first 2 minutes. This was all your fault. Date's gone well now. And we're not talking about realistic situations. I'm not trying to get into anyone's personal business.
Yeah.
But then we're like, do you know what? It's going so well. You go home, have a little nightcap. What am I imagining is playing in your living room in your nightcap circumstances. Surely it's not the beats that you're known
Some little Dirk or something.
Man's cooking up.
What you want?
Yeah, just it would.
Nah, I'll put on some Larry June.
Okay.
He's from Frisco. He's cold. But it's just
Larry
like that.
June.
And it's just music you can just put on in the background, and it just sounds nice.
Okay.
It's not too aggressive.
Not too heavy.
Not too
heavy,
lotiony.
Not too lotiony, but then not. Yeah, it's not
But not
too
dry.
simpy, but it's not. It's not
Yeah.
dry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
yeah,
moisturized.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
yes, it's
Perfect.
lightly
Damp.
It's
Perfect moisture.
shit. Yeah, it's damp. Some damp music in it.
Yeah.
I love that. I feel like we've created
That's
a whole
a new
new
genre.
concept of a new
Real talk.
mixtape. I was going to
Damp.
say the
Damp
damp
Volume
tape.
1.
Oh,
Damn chronicles.
you heard it here first. This is it. Get Party Next Door on some vocals. Yeah. Listen, it's a thing. Can you imagine? Because I see you.
Yeah,
You're
it's
thinking
doable.
about
It's
the
doable.
keys already.
Yeah, it's doable.
Think about if you could put slides on or not.
Slides a point is
Woo,
doable.
woo, woo, woo.
That'd be bad.
Oh, this is where we get into the real producer chat. I'm like,
Yeah, I mean, we could go off on one for a while.
If I'm going to ask you all to give us, okay, sorry, I'm going to put you on the spot again, but who are some artists that are on rotation on your playlist right now that you want to share with the people? Yeah, get your phones out, it's all
Go
good.
on the old Spotify. for
Put
this
like give the
one.
people something to listen to look out for. Who's someone that's like coming up that you've either worked with, you haven't worked with, but that we should all look out for.
Look what's on my phone. Look, as soon as I come, look.
Oh, my guy, you know. Damn. Some old school sus.
Old school sauce.
All right, cool. Who I've been listening to? It's
Go
no
on.
one from the UK. I'm just gonna put that out there right now. I
Okay.
go through phases, innit?
Right.
So right now I'm listening to G Perico. I'm listening to Larry June. I'm listening to ESTG. I'm listening to Payroll Giovanni. These are all people that are just kind of underground. Blast. Don't know if you know about
I
Blast.
have no clue
He's
who
cold.
Blast is.
He's a producer
Okay.
and an artist, but he's cold at both.
Okay. Where's he from?
LA.
Okay. So you actually were referring to an actual LA
Yeah.
movement that's
yeah,
going
yeah.
on.
All them people I just named.
Right.
Larry June, he's from Frisco, so he's not
Right.
from LA. G Perico's from LA. Blast from LA, and then Payroll Giovanni, he's from Detroit, but he does stuff with Cardo, who makes the LA sound.
Okay.
So I'm on my LA shit right now, or West Coast, I should say.
Clear. Who are you listening to?
Like Young Boy, NLE Chopper, Moneybag Yo, Coil Ray. Is that how you saying it?
Yeah, she's cold.
Yeah, she's
Oh
hard.
yeah, she's been popping off.
She's
Yeah.
going off.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's cold.
I read a really interesting tweet, which I now can't unsee it. Someone said, Coily Ray has a really interesting brand. It's basically tomboy hoe, which in a positive, as a compliment. Which is
When you say that,
no,
it makes perfect
it
sense.
actually makes really
Yeah.
good sense.
Yeah.
She's like very comfortable in her womanhood, her sexuality, which doesn't fit into the typical image that we have in modern day music. And it's still like when you see her in the studio with like 20 dudes deep, it just all makes sense. And she's just about her business, not intimidated by anyone she's working with,
Yeah.
and holding down her weight. And I think it's now I can't unsee it. Anytime I see a little video of her, her thang be thanging, but then she's got all her homeboys around her, I'm like, this is it. This is the new
unique.
brand.
Yeah,
She stands out.
Is that someone you would want to work with?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Definitely.
Be
Yeah.
sick.
She seems like she don't mind taking risks,
No.
or not taking risks, but just doing something different. Like,
Yeah.
not like
Because even like her singing, like it isn't a traditional, I don't think she's
it's kind of like Playboy Carti-ish. Her thing, like all the little sounds and
exactly.
You know what I mean?
And she's breaking away from like, I guess the idea that she has to hold a note per se because of if she delves into that somewhere mid-rap, mid-singing.
Yeah,
And she doesn't care about that. She's just experimenting.
No, she's cold.
Who's on your playlist, MK?
Lil Durk, Jay Critch, Rushy, Digger, T Grizzly.
She's hard.
Yeah.
She's cold.
DB Batterbag as well. He's cold.
Who's that?
He's from I
Detroit.
think he's from the Bay as well.
Is it?
San Francisco.
What's
yeah.
the name?
DB Batterbag.
DB
That's a
Batterbag.
sick name.
Love
still.
that.
Batterbag. Ooh, one word.
That's sick.
BOUTA bag.
I'm gonna check
Love
that out.
that.
Yeah,
Batterbag.
Baba's cold still. He does the funny little. You get me?
Oh, what
East
kind of like
Coast tunes.
TJ X6 kind of? vibe?
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
slightly,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
not as offbeat. But like, yeah.
Ah, bro, he's the funniest. Bro.
Yeah,
I can't lie,
guys.
man. He makes me laugh.
To round it up, for people who are watching, if you could give anyone any advice, some people, kids who are watching this who look up to you guys, want to kind of follow into your footsteps, would love to make the sounds that you make or work with the artists that you guys work with, what is something that you would tell them to either do, to either not do, to stop believing or stop looking at or start looking at? Best advice you can give someone.
Just
Who's
To
starting?
budding producers in their bedroom.
As a producer, yeah. Obviously, like you must, like as a producer coming up, you surely must, or there must be some sort of artist around you that you can work with. So, if they're big, not big, as long as you think they're a good artist, I say work with them. Even if they're not, like if you don't, even if you're like, oh, I don't know that, but just for experience, like work with whatever's around you, and just like put your hours in, like, cause like there's no shortcuts around putting the hours in. Fam, word.
You gotta enjoy the hustle as well.
Yeah.
Like, and especially that, I look at it like this: like if you really want it, you can grab it because it's music. You enjoy it. You get it. So it will be a hustle. Don't get me wrong. Like you'll be tired. Like you won't sleep, but you like music, so it ain't even like. I mean, it's better than working at 9 to 5. So like, you're gonna have to put up with it for a
and
minute.
you're gonna have to do both for a long time before it all.
Well, nowadays
long
you
time.
can. I mean, if you're a little young boy like 16, 17, you're coming straight out of school. You don't need money. You can just grind for 3 years and then you can start making money off YouTube. I mean, off beats.
Word.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're a bit older, like
Maybe.
into your 20s, you might have to have a job and that. But just like Ghosty was saying, if you want it, you're gonna do it, bro. There's no.
And enjoy it.
Yeah.
Final piece of it, or that was your advice?
No, I say kind of a hybrid of what they said. Like M said, you got to put in the hours. There ain't no shortcut. Like you can watch all the tutorials.
Oh,
you
everything's
want.
there now. You got everything.
Yeah.
Word. You got it on the
Everything.
plate.
It's true.
Everything.
Especially when you guys were
Excuse.
talking about
Especially
like,
for drill.
Yeah,
You can actually
yeah.
type
There.
in how to make a ghosty beat, and there's
And
someone.
there'll be someone that sat
Yeah.
there and dissected
Yeah.
one
That's-
of his
Yeah.
beats.
Yeah.
that's basically you've made it.
Nah.
Nah, you have.
When there's a video, when
I'm
there's a
trying to be
You
video,
like
never
a
make
person.
it. You never make it. Nah.
when there's a video saying how to make a insert name
Did a
here
type
beat,
beat. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
mad. It's mad.
it is a little bit of a YouTube cosign.
Yeah, that's a big cosign, bro.
It's what it is, yeah.
So
Don't
modest.
shake it up, bro. Superstar, man.
Nah, man. Nah, yeah. It's what it is.
So what is? I want to thank you guys. Thank you for your input, for your inspiration, for your memories. Even though half of the times you were kind of put on the spot and you can remember what you want to say.
I just started remembering stuff as well.
Go on.
No,
Add
no,
in.
no, no,
What-
no,
What
no.
did you remember? Is it
No.
producers?
Yeah, producers.
Go on.
Turbo the Great
Here we go.
and Wheezy.
Devin.
They're cold.
See,
fuck
imagine
with
if you didn't say that.
I know, imagine. I would have just
Now it's here.
been in the shower tomorrow like
Thank you, MK The Plug, Ghosty, Flyo.
Thank
You've been
you.
listening to Jyoty here from the Rinse and Size Studios. Hopefully you've been inspired by the stories of inspirations for producers, specifically talking about drill. And stay tuned for more episodes. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for
guys.
having us.